So my original attempt at upgrading my bit holders was this Ivy Classic with a sliding collar. You slide the collar, put the bit in, and the bit doesn't want to come out. That was nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't hold the screw very well because the magnet doesn't want to grab. It's either got no magnet or a very weak magnet, and so if you're reaching on a ladder and you need to get something that's out of your reach, you're not going to get any help from this holding the screw on there. So the next step up was to go with this Ivy Classic with a stronger magnet but no sliding collar. So it made it a little bit more difficult to get the bit out, but the bit generally stays in there and you get a little bit of help picking up screws and retaining the screw on the end if you have to reach and drive it at an angle. As you can tell though, you wiggle a little bit and it does tend to fall out. So that wasn't, my quest continued. So this next one is another Ivy Classic, and this one is called Super Bit Holder or Super Mag or something like that. Put the bit in there and you can tell the magnet is pretty good, and it's even better if you slide this collar and it keeps it erect, for a lack of a better term. So if I wiggle it and I'm on my ladder and I have to toenail this in to a stud or something like that, this does a pretty good job of keeping it on there. You know, if I do like that, it starts to wiggle a little bit, but overall I do get some help from the magnet. So I liked that for a long time, but one day this fell off and it sort of lost its appeal. So then I heard about this German company, I believe, maybe Swiss, something like that. This is Wera, and it also has a sliding collar. You put the bit on there and you slide the collar to get the bit off, and it does also help you hold it a little bit, but I wasn't thrilled by it. I honestly liked my Super Mag, or whatever they call it, by Ivy Classic. I felt this one was a little bit better. One thing that was nice about this one over this one is that you get a little bit more space for the bit if you're countersinking. This is kind of fat here, so sometimes that can be annoying. Which brings us to the last one, which has its own limitations. This is a Hitachi bit holder. You can tell that the bit is already in there, so that's a limitation because they only have a Phillips head 2 and a square head 2. So if you have these other kinds of bits, these Torx bits, or maybe you have a Phillips head 1 or anything else, you're out of luck. But the thing I like about this one is you can tell it holds it extremely well. So if you're at an angle like that, you get a lot more help than you do with the other ones. And if you're up on the ladder, you're shaky, you're in a small space, you can tell it holds it very well. So that's sort of my evolution of trying to find the best bit holder. None of them are perfect. All of them have some things I don't like about them. But I'd say that this is probably my favorite overall. Maybe the Hitachi's in second place. The Hitachi, like this one and this one, they're a little bit wider, so if you're trying to countersink something down, then it only goes so far before it bottoms out. These original style ones aren't going to do that. So my quest continues.